Okay, if you want to start recording. Okay, all right, that's fine. So for the manual steps, actually, for yeah, how many minutes do we have for this call?
We finish at 11.
11. Okay, all right, that's brilliant. Then we can take it from beginning to the end anyway. Okay, all right. Now, when you start a role as a QA, okay, what are you expected to do? Right. One, you will ask for their test strategy, right? So that is the first thing normally. Oh, do you have a test strategy? Because you expect a company to have one, right? So let's say you are the first person now. What are you meant to do? You need to provide a test strategy. So is it yesterday, right? We spoke about test strategy. So which I've asked you to produce one, right? Look into what is next test strategy, right? And it's based on what definition of quality in relation to your company or team, right? So you will do that, okay? Now, they will give you a project to work on, right? That project, you have a project mandate on what you are going to do, right? And also, like you have within your team right now, you already have the mandate given to you, right? And you have the product owner giving you what's it called, stories that you need to do per sprint, and you have the BA writing those requirements out. So now, as a QA, what are you supposed to do? You take one story, you write your test case on that story. This is you working agile. If you are working in waterfall, right, you might be expected to write a test plan. So right now, if you don't know what waterfall is, so you can read up on that. So what's the difference between waterfall and agile? So maybe we'll have another call to talk about that. I think it's already been covered in one of the agile training anyway. But if you are still struggling with that, so please read up on waterfall and agile. What is the difference? Okay. Now, so like I said, if you are working on the waterfall, they would ask you to do test plan because that will cover everything that is to be done on that particular project. But with Agile, you don't have visibility of everything. You get to know what you're going to do maybe in 2 sprints or 3 sprints ahead based on how your BA is working. So you will be writing your test script and based on what the BS has written. After you've written your test script, okay, then you would then execute the test script. Okay. So those are the things that you're going to be doing in cycle, right? So you pick another story, write test script, okay? If the application is ready for you to test it, you execute it and you push it to where it needs to be. So, but if it's not ready, you would kind of leave it and move to another one. So let's take this one in practical time now, okay? I want someone to share their screen, okay? We go to Azure board. We look as if we are starting afresh, okay? And we go through that cycle. Hopefully, we'll be able to do it within 20 minutes or 30 minutes. So then you would understand, okay? Can I have a volunteer? Initially, I wanted to say, hopefully, it will not be Damilola because you're always sharing the screen every time. So I don't want to assume that everyone knows what they want to do. So if we don't have a volunteer, then it will be you, Damilola. But let's get another person. So yeah, if that's okay. So we don't have anybody. Okay. I guess that will be it for today. because this program is practical anyway. So if no one is on the screen, so no one is able to share, then I think we would move it to when everybody's ready. Yeah, you can stop recording, Damnola, please. All right, thank you. So now we have stories here, right? The stories will start from in new state column, right? Like this one that you have disregard, right? The BA will start writing those story from this point, right? Then when they start writing, they move that story into BA, okay? Once they are done, they move into BA done, right? At the BA done, right, they are telling the whole team that they've kind of written this particular story and is ready for the product owner to approve. Okay? The product owner looks into that story in BA done and think, okay, I think the story is okay and it's something that I need and I want it as well. And the BA has written it according to their spec, right? So they will say, if they approve, they put it in the approved column. Okay? At the approved column, the team will now look on the stories in the approved column and they will do their sprint planning, right? And estimate all those stories, right? Then they will pick some of the stories that they think they can do in that particular sprint and they move it into the sprint. For instance, now, right, Abimbola, you need to give this feedback to your team, right? So in approved state, you shouldn't see any story in iteration. So you can see some sprint, like the one in home is in sprint 2, is totally wrong, right? Because in approved state, you don't know when those stories will be done. You are only putting them in approved because the product owner has approved them and are saying, the product owner is saying that, oh, I want this story. But you don't know when your team is going to do it. Your team needs to do the sprint planning, yeah, and then out of the stories they've estimated, they will pick some of them or all of them, and they put them in committed. Now, as a keyway, right, story in committed are the stories that you are going to be working on in that particular sprint. So as a keyway, you will pick that story up, right? And look at them if there's no test case already written for them. Because it's possible that even stories in approved, if you are less busy, you can start writing test cases for story in approved. But story in committed are of high priority because you know that you are going to do them. Like I said, if you write test cases for story in approved, you might not know when they are going to come to you because you don't know when they are going to be done, right? So now you pick a story in committed, right? And you would start writing your test cases on them, right? So when they are in committed, you will still leave them in committed. You are only writing your test cases on them, okay? So, and what thing that you need to do now, because they are in committed, they are in the sprint, okay? You go to the sprint backlog, okay? On the left, I'll go to left. You see the sprint, click on sprint, and you will see the stories in sprint 2, right? So this is sprint 1, right? Normally, there shouldn't be anything in progress in sprint 1, right? Everything should have been moved to sprint 2 if they are not done, completely done. So technically, your team have not done what they need to do. We're going to look at that later anyway, if time permits. So, but can you change sprint 1 to sprint 2 at the top of your, yeah, that one, change it to sprint 2, right? So this is your present sprint, right? And now as a keyway, you have some stories. Let's leave the one in keyway done in keyway, okay? Scroll down, let's see those one because maybe you've already done something before. Okay, that one in committed now. So that is a cybersecurity story. We don't need those ones. So scroll down for me as well. Okay, scroll down, down. Okay, down. Scroll down more. Let's see. Down, down, down. You can see now, this one approved should not be in the sprint. Do you get it now? You need to tell your Scrum Master to move it away from the sprint. It should be in the backlog. Okay, so and scroll down more. Down more. Okay, down. Okay, so tech and even this one in BA done should not be in the sprint as well. Anyway, so is it that they are uncommitted or yeah? So now it seems that the only one that you can work on will be the one starting from in dev or thereabout. Do you get? You scroll to the top, right? So what I'm trying to do, right, except from the DA story and also the what's it called? Cybersecurity story, right, which does not require you to do testing on, so you can leave those ones. Okay, so if you scroll to the top, let's go to the top now. From the top, right, you can see there's some story that is dev done, stories in dev, right? So let's start with this one, login page design. Okay, so it's in dev. Okay, that means developers are working on it. Okay, at least maybe one developer is working on it. So what are you going to do? You are going to be writing your test cases for manual test cases. You can do different things here, right? You can click on the plus, right? Click on plus, and you can create your task. What are you going to do on this story from beginning to the end? One, you're going to create your test cases, okay? And you're going to execute that test cases, right? I've seen people that will list them and it's okay, creating test cases, executing test cases, okay? Or you could just put them together and just say manual testing. Do you get it now? So that's you putting those two tasks into one task. Do you get it now? And then you can also write another one for automation if you need to do, okay? But right now, let's just say we split it into two, right? We create our test cases, manual test cases, okay? And then we execute the test, okay? Now, let's write creation of test cases. Okay, press enter. Then test execution. Okay, so for now, what you need to do now is to open that story up, right? Because so now, hold on. Before you do that, you might need to write it for other ones as well. Like, okay, let's do the one for at the top as well. So in the dev done, do the same thing, creation of test cases and also test execution. Okay. And you will do the same thing for all the stories in your test. So at this point, any question? This should be done immediately after you've agreed on the stories for the sprint. That means immediately after your stand-up, after your sprint planning. Any question? I like when things are kind of, yeah, interactive. Yes? Any question?
My question is God bless you.
Okay. And you too. Now, okay, let's continue now. Okay, you've kind of written that. So now what do you now do? Right. So let's say you now pick up that login page design. Let's scroll down. Okay. We want to write the test cases for it. You assign it to yourself, Abimbola. Okay. Unassigned? No, assigned now. Yeah, that one, the task itself. Okay. No. Click on assign. Yeah. Click on that. Yeah, click on that. You should be able to click on that. Click on unassigned.
Oh, it's not clicking.
We tried that before. You couldn't. It's not. I don't know why.
Okay, can you click on the title for the story for the task? Okay, so at the top you see unassigned there, right? Okay, can you put your and click on save and close? Okay, so this is you now saying that I am going to be writing test cases for this particular story. So what do you need to do now? Can someone tell me? If you now want to start writing, what do you need to do?
I think we have to move it to in progress.
Thank you so much.
Comment this one.
So you move that to in progress. You can drag it. Okay, cool. Now you are telling your team that you are writing test cases for the story, right? So now when you are writing test cases, what do? I've told you there are different ways. I've showed you one way, which I'm going to stick to, but we're still going to, because I don't want to confuse you, okay? We're still going to go to another method, maybe next week, but I'll still stick to the same method I taught you last time, okay? Which, to be honest, is not the best method so far, right? But I think you need to know it, okay? So what you need to do, click on that login page design, the story itself, right? And then add a test case. Cool. Hold on there, actually. Brilliant. You've even got a test case already written. Do you get it now? Because you can see there's test case already written, right?
Yes, sir.
So now let's assume we've written it, okay? That is brilliant, okay? So what do we now do? Close this, test cases is written, and you can put it, what do we need to do to the task now? It is done. But the story is still in dev. Means dev is working on the story. When dev is working on story, can we do test execution, guys?
Not
No.
possible.
No, until it gets to dev done, that's when we can.
Thank you so much. So until it gets to dev done, you cannot do anything. That means on this one, you cannot do anything. What do? Do you fold your hand? No. You pick another story up. So let's assume that you go to the top one now. As you can see, the top one, right, it's got a story, a task created, which is in dev done already. You can see the developer is actually following the task. So developer's task, we've done our task, and the guy already moved the story to dev done, which is brilliant. It shows that developer already knows how to work on that task. Do you get? So now, what do? You would also now, if you have not created your test case, okay, you start creating it. Okay. Brilliant. Okay. Brilliant. Okay. Okay. You already have a test case written for that anyway. Okay. That is brilliant. Let's assume, okay, that is good. We got that already. Close that. What do you say? That is done. Brilliant. Okay. Now, since we have the story saying dev done, what do?
Take it to
Execute.
Pick it to in QA. Then
we can start the execution of the test.
Yeah, we
then
can start execution of the test.
execution,
So what do
yes.
we do to the task?
So the task
In
now,
progress.
we'll open up the URL, go read through the acceptance criteria and everything. Then try to double check the additional information, acceptance criteria, and the description to see if it matches with the story we wrote. If it does, then it's perfect. If it doesn't, we'll raise a bug and attach the developer's name to it.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. That is for the test case, okay, which is brilliant. What is explained is good. But the task now, what do we do to the task?
Take it to
In progress.
Okay, we need to put that in progress,
In
right?
progress,
So
yes. Yeah.
then after we put that in progress, what about the story itself? Guys, you need to understand it. There's task, there's test case, and there's story or work item. Do you get it now? Product backlog item. So these three things are the one that you are working with at this time. And if you want to add the fourth one, it will be the bug. But as every particular time, you have your test case for the story, you have it at least one task or two tasks, okay, for that particular story. Then you have the story itself. So what state will be the story? What state do you think the story will be in at this time now?
In QA.
Okay, all right. Before we move it, right, let's go to the board and check what state that story is. Go to the board. We are looking for about us, and let's see where it is. Okay, it's in dev done, right? So you have different way to move it. You can move it from here to in keyway, right? That is one. Or you go back to the sprint, okay? Okay, so now in there now, wait,
Sprint 2.
sprint 2, thank you. So, and you need to speak to your Scrum Master as well. They've not done something that they need to do because it seems sprint 1 seems to be your current sprint, which is wrong. Maybe their date is wrong. Can you click on that sprint 2 for me as well? Click on the drop down again. So it's showing current as sprint 1, right? They need to look at the date for sprint 2. Maybe that date they put in there is wrong. Okay, they need to fix that. Okay. If they don't know what to do, they need to speak to their Scrum Master mentor. I think they should know how to do that. So now, okay, can we change that story? Okay, the state of that story. So the state, you need to click on the state. Yeah, the state is dev done now. The state is there, dev done. Even here, you can change it from here. But yeah, so but don't change it from here because I know this is okay. But let's try to change it from the board because there's nothing that we need. We don't need to open it anyway. Let's try to see if we can change it from there. Yeah, click on that state, click on that dev done. Yeah. And then what do we need to change it to? In QA. So this is the process. Now, this particular test case is now in execution and also is in QA, right? So open that story up, right? And let's go to the test case. So you click on the test case. So there's another way to do this, which is test planning, okay? Which we're going to look at later, but it's so similar as well, okay? So you click on the test case, right? Okay, so what you now need to do is to take this test case and open the application and compare them like for likes. The first step say open MentorSkid website. You go open MentorSkid website. Yes. Someone was talking to me.
This is not Deji. Just a quick one. The URL for this MentorSkid website, is there any chance that they can put that on the board as well?
No, your team, you need one for your team. They cannot put this on the board. You need to know you're the one for your team.
Yeah,
this one is his own team, right? It's different per team. Okay. Or is that what you are saying?
Yeah, because today when we are
This
doing
is his team. This is his team, actually.
This is my team here, actually. But today when we are doing the test cases together, so we have to access the website externally. So we will now have a discussion that we can.
Yeah, a bit far away from the mic.
Sorry. a lot of the notification. So we had a discussion today when we are doing the test cases. That is anything that we can have the URL.
Is it only me that is struggling to hear him?
Larry, let me help you. Let me help you. We are hearing you from afar. What, Larry, let me help you. What he's about to say is when we want to execute our test, we were all looking for the link in the DevOps board. We couldn't find it. The link was now sent to us on Telegram. We believe that should not be the case, that we should already find the link. Since the developer has said they have done it, we should be able to find the link in the board, not on the Telegram.
No. So the link will be advised by a DevOps person, right? Because, well, of course, developer might know the link, and sometimes it might also be different, actually, because sometimes developer might use a developer's environment, and after that, you might be using a keyway environment. So you need to know what is the environment. And sometimes this environment may be fluid. They might give you one environment today, it might be another environment tomorrow, but you need to know what environment, because there are different environments that you can work on. They can call one a keyway environment. They can call one a SIT environment, that is system integration testing environment. They might even call another environment UAT environment. Do you get it now? Or it might be one environment for everything. Do you get it now? But the long and short of this discussion is that you need to know this URL. Do you get it now? Does that make sense? Okay.
No matter
That's
how
fine.
you get it, your developer will give you the URL.
It might not be your developer. It might be another team on their own. Do you get it now?
Okay.
There's some team that they will call a DevOps team, right? Those one in charge of your environment. Do you get it now? It might be your team lead that will speak to that team. Do you get it now? It might be your test manager that will speak to that team to get you URL. It might be your Scrum Master that will speak to that team you get that. It might also be developer that you get it from. But what I'm saying is that you need to get the URL.
Yeah,
Maybe a good way to start is to first speak to developer. What URL are we using? Developer and say, guys, I don't know. You are the keyway. Go and check your environment. Do you get it now?
I got it. I think it's our assumption that was wrong. Now,
Okay,
thank you for correcting it. Thank
no
you.
problem. Okay. All right. So, but in some cases, it might be developer that will give it to you. But I just want you to get that general overview. Okay. Now we have the URL here, right? And can you put them side by side, if that's okay? Oh, we can be switching anyway. That's fine. Okay,
You
go
can
back
do
to
that if you share your screen, the whole screen of your computer, and you can put it side by side. Stop sharing and go back and say whole screen.
No, I think it's your screen that is sharing anyway. But let's just go ahead. Okay, click on the Azure one quickly. Okay, so you've done the first one. It is fine. So the second line said navigate to header section, and your expected result is header should be visible with About Us button. So now, okay. So talking about how this test case is written, right? Is it written in BDD or not?
Not BDD.
Okay, good. Now, but that doesn't mean that it's wrong. This is also correct as well. Do you get it now? So, because, well, I can follow it. Anyone can follow it as well. Do you get that's purpose of the test script, that you write it and someone else can follow what you are writing, okay? So navigate to header section. Header section should be visible with About Us button located. Can we try that? So this is header section, About Us is there and it's visible. That is done. Okay, let's go to the next one. So number 3, click on About Us button. The About Us should be clickable. Let's go there. Click on About Us. About Us is clickable. Let's go back again. As you can see, testing is easy, right? Just follow the script. So click on About Us button in the header. I don't think that is relevant again, right? But this also happened to the best of us, I think, because when you're writing scripts, you tend to forget yourself. But if this happens, okay, this is not, that step is redundant anyway. So, but what's the expected behavior? Let's look at the expected result. It says the user should be redirected to About Us. We've seen that, okay? The URL should be reflected on About Us. Let's go and check the URL, okay?
Sorry, I don't get that.
Sorry?
I don't get that.
No, go back to the website, to the MetaStream
Website.
website.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, the website saying About Us at the top in the URL anyway. Okay, so which is fine. So let's go back to the Azure DevOps again. Okay, let's scroll down. Verify the content on About Us. Okay, we're going to do that. And this is now saying the content are visible and readable. The information with information required, okay? The header and the footer should be visible. The layout of the page should be maintained consistent with the rest of the website. So let's go and check those things now. It's put 3 things there, okay? The content is visible and readable, right? The header and the footer are still visible, okay? Let's go and check. And also consistency of the layout. Okay, so guys, then, okay, what can you say about that in here?
The headers are visible
It is visible
and it's
readable.
also readable.
Okay.
Bimbala, please go to the footer. Let's see.
Okay. This is the footer. There's no content of the footer.
The footer there's a bug because the footer is not showing.
Okay, so basically that means that has got a bug, okay? The footer is not showing, so you need to raise a bug. Okay, does that make sense to us now? So, and also, not only that, what can you say about the content?
It's not consistent with the layout.
Okay, what do you mean it's not consistent?
With the layout of the no.
My suggestion is that for the layout, you need to visit other, like the home page and like find the mentor page.
Okay, all right. No, for me, right, yeah, maybe later you're going to see it as well. Like About Us should be a title. Does that look like a title? You just bold. Do you get it now? So yeah, all those things you need to look into. Yeah, even the text, it's just maybe it's not. Yeah, yeah. Now, do you think this is a very good website with this content? Right, that is the
No.
question.
No.
Right. So you need to look into that. Even the gaps and everything. Do you get it now? It doesn't So and yeah, why choose us friendly blah blah blah. That's what you need to do. Okay, you need to look at that. Does that really make a lot of sense to you? Right? Yeah. So if it's fine, that is fine. Now let's go back to Azure DevOps. We're going to look at 2 scenarios. Okay. 4 scenarios. Let's assume everything is fine. Okay. We did not find any bug. Okay. We did not find any bug. What we could do is we'll change the state of this particular test case to close because it's already done. Okay. Or yeah, but put it as ready, don't worry, change it to ready. So save and close, but we know that there's a bug with this, okay? So then what do we do? If there is no bug on this one, on this particular story, we change this story to keyway done. Means keyway is already done on this. So we are telling the BA to pick this off for their UAT. That we can confirm, we can put our name that is done. So what you could also do, right, as well, is to put a screenshot, right, to actually establish that this is already done. So that next time when they come back to say, whoa, it's not done. For instance, he's talking about the header. You do a screenshot about the header to show that, hey, I found the header. Do you get now? You do a screenshot about the footer to say, oh, the footer is there. And you put that screenshot in the story. That is your evidence that you've tested it. Because it's possible that the next time, the developer might remove the footer and they were saying the footer wasn't working. Someone would not test and the footer wasn't working. Not say, why is it not working? So did Ambiwala not test it before? They did not see that it was not working. And you can now say, yeah, I tested it. It was working when I tested it. And in fact, this is my evidence. Check that particular story. You will see I put a screenshot where there is footer and I can show you. Do you get? And if you don't put that evidence, there's nothing to show that you've done your bit. Do you get? Any question on that?
Sorry, Deji, when we do the screenshot, where do we have to put that screenshot?
Exactly.
I just want to use that to confirm what we did today. Maybe
that is fine. That's fine. That's good because that's why I paused to ask if there are any question because I was expecting someone to ask that question.
Can I answer that question?
Please.
Okay, you navigate to where you see details. After details, storyline, go to the last one. The attachment side. No, not there. Move to the other part of the yes. Go up now. Yeah. Here. Before deployment. Have you seen details? Not there. Not that as is. This as is. You can do it somewhere here, but I want to show you around here where you can do it as well.
Details, yeah.
Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Yeah. Keep going towards that direction. Okay. Yeah, that one. Click on it. Attachment. You can attach from there as well. Add attachment. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. So when you click on that, it opens the file explorer for you. You can attach. Okay. That is one way. All right. And you can as well put it on your history. But for me, I think this is the best one anyway. And you can put it here and click on the 3 ellipses. No, after the hold on. You see the 3 ellipses on the attachment, the one that's highlighted. Yeah, click on that. I think there's a copy. Oh no. Can you open that for me? Let's say this is an attachment. Copy, open that. Click on that. Okay, no, don't worry. Okay, just close that anyway. So I really want to, can you right click for me? Right click that about us, right? No, the other one on the left. No, down. Oh, no, yeah, right click. Okay. Normally preview. Can you click on preview? Okay, don't worry. Press escape. Okay. All right. Normally, before now, you can copy the link. Do you get it now? And then put it on your comment. Okay. So, but if it's fine right now, you've attached, let's say you've attached the evidence. You can even put them in Word, okay, and attach them like this, or you can attach them per image and say, okay, this image for footer image, and because you can attach as many as possible. So if you close this one, right, then you can, okay, just go back to details. Yes, thank you. And you scroll down and you can see comment section, right? Okay, yeah, discussion. You can now say, okay, this story is being tested and passed. See evidence attached. Do you get it now? Story tested and passed by me and evidence is attached. You can now say at the attachment section. Do you get now? So then after you've done that, okay, then you change that state to keyway done. Okay, so and if you put it in keyway done, let's say for example, right? It's still in keyway, put it in keyway done. Where's keyway done? Okay, yeah, save and close. So now if you go back to the board, you can see it would automatically move to keyway done. We know that it was in keyway before, right? It should, yeah, it should be in keyway done now. Yeah, about us, that is it. So now the BA will pick that up and they'll put it in UAT and they'll do a UAT. A UAT, they don't need to write test cases. They will just look at it, blah, blah, maybe a few minutes and they will done. It's just another pair of eyes check anyway. So that's it. So that's what the keyway, the UAT would do. But now let's assume that we found a bug. What do we do? Okay, because of time, I'm tempted to let us stop unless you guys still want to carry on, right?
Please,
Because
let's carry on, Deji, please.
it's already 11 o'clock.
Please.
Because my boss said we should not be, we should be stopping at 11 o'clock. I don't want to get query from my boss.
Oh my God.
Please, let's
All right, let's quickly,
continue. We don't know
okay,
when
let's
we'll catch up.
quickly finish this. Okay, so let's assume that we found a bug. Okay, can you open that story? Right. Okay, if you find a bug, you have to create a bug. Okay, so what you need to do on the add link, okay, click on add link, okay, and then new item, and you create a bug. Okay, good, brilliant. And you, let's say the bug is footer is not, yeah, you can change that from related to a child, actually, right? Okay, and you can the title footer is not displayed because that is the issue that we found. Okay, you click on OK. So now you need to put the repro step. Okay, what is the step for repro? First, just a quick one is, okay, what do you think is the step to recreate it? Guys, you can shout it out so that it's not only him.
I think the developer will have to work on it.
Repro steps?
People said is when you say the step that you take that will lead to the bug.
Okay. So the steps that the developer needs to follow for them to recreate the bug. Okay, someone said go to Prepping Job website. Yes. Oh, sorry, MentorSkills website. Yeah. So at this time, you can also put the URL there, okay? Because it's okay to be specific, okay? To say, this is the URL I found the bug, okay? It won't be with you, okay. Okay, you need, yeah, exactly, okay. So then what do we do?
Click on the about us.
Okay, yeah, click on About Us. Okay. But yeah, another thing, that About Us is not a button, it's actually a link. Okay. Okay. Then number 3, what do we need to do?
Footer, I think you need to scroll down.
Okay, scroll to the footer
Scroll to
section.
the footer.
Footer.
Okay, then
I mean, but I go to that website quickly, yeah.
No, you guys should. You don't need to go to. You need to know. This is just a simple one, isn't it? Right. So what's the next one?
I think that is all. We just need to take a picture and attach.
No.
Confirm footer, or you should say confirm footer is not reflecting.
Or verify
footer main
This,
is
this
not.
is what you are expected to see. That's what you need to put there. Okay. No. I said, I'm not saying you should type what I said. I said what you are meant to see. What is your expected result? That's what you need to put on line 4.
Footer not displayed.
Okay. For the sake of time, you need to say that verify or confirm that the footer is displayed. Okay. That is that. But I know some people can also put that. However, the footer is not displayed when I just to explain what the situation is. Do you get it now? So, and that's that. Okay. Okay. So, and you can put the same thing or related one on accepted criteria, right? So in acceptance criteria, you can do that in a given I go to prepping your website. When I click on about us, then the footer should be displayed. That is one way to do this. Do you get it now? On accepted criteria, given I navigate to mentorskill.com, right? You don't need to put one. You don't need to put bullet points on that one. Does that come with bullet points automatically? Okay, yeah. Okay.
Does that mean that, sorry, you can copy and paste your test cases here?
Yeah, technically, because in the other step that I said I will show you, you're going to see that it will copy and paste the test case, right? And also then I like the one that failed. Do you get it now? Because as you can see here, what you said is totally right. We are only duplicating what we've done, right? In the test case, right? When I click on about us, it's not and. Then the about us should be displayed at the footer. Sorry, no. The footer should be displayed. Sorry, I think that's what we are. Then the footer should be displayed.
Scroll down before the footer is displayed.
Yeah, it's fine. It's scrolling down is tautology, right? When someone says a footer is a footer, you don't put footer in the middle of the screen. Do you get?
Yes, sir.
So, but of course you can put it for emphasis, right? But when you say it's a footer, it's a foot anyway. So okay. All right. So that is that. Save and close. So now what happens to this bug, right? So hold on. Yeah. Okay. Can you open the bug again? So this bug now, you need to assess it, okay, in terms of priority and severity. Do you get it now? So do you think is high priority? Can you click on that on severity for me, please? Okay, you can see there's critical, there's high, there's medium, there's low. Okay, so critical is when a story, yeah, has to be fixed like tomorrow or maybe today or yesterday. Do you get it now? And that story means that you cannot even continue. Can someone give me an example of a bug like that you cannot even continue your testing?
When you cannot log in, the login page is not loading.
Thank you.
You
The
cannot access
login
your
page is not working. So, and everything depends on login. Even you cannot do other story. What other thing?
when you cannot access the website itself.
Exactly. When the website is, thank you so much. So when the website is totally down or it's not responsive, you cannot continue. It is critical. Okay. Okay. Which one will you, do you think this one is critical?
No, it's not critical.
Okay. All right. When do we say something is high then? Guys, you can try. You can give you suggestions. Okay. I'm good. Does anyone want to try? Sorry?
When it's highly important.
Okay, all right, cool. When is highly important? I will not tell you in technical terms. So I own stories, okay? Or I bugs actually. So the bugs that you found that yeah, you can see continue. They are not critical, but they are very, very important. It means that they need to be fixed ASAP, right? They need to be fixed ASAP. And that means that you cannot release without this being fixed. And you can even force, this one has to be fixed before the end of the sprint. And it's possible they should need to be fixed like when you can fix them immediately. So, but it's not like they have to be fixed like yesterday. You can still continue, but this one has to be fixed within the sprint. You cannot move it to the next sprint. So what type of bug is this one? Can you give us a sample?
Example,
Example of I box.
when a particular page is not loading.
Okay, when a particular page is not loading. Yeah, okay. Well, if you're not working on that particular page, it's just a page. Like, let's say, about us is not loading, right? Of course, it has to be fixed, right? Cool. What other, any other? Okay, so technically, when a particular functionality is not really working, right? But of course, it's not stopping your testing. You can still continue. But that functionality is key to the system. For instance, let's say the logo is not showing, right? You don't want to release an application with a wrong logo or with a logo that's not there. Do you get it now? And you can't continue. For instance, let's say about us, I want to say, for instance, on this story now, about us, you went in there, about us, you can't find about us. Is that high, critical, or medium?
It's high.
That is high because they need to read about the company. They need to know. They need to get more information about the company.
Okay. So, which I think it is debatable, right? Because I want to say it could be critical because for you now, you cannot even continue testing, right? Because what are you going to test when there's no about us? Do you get it now? You cannot continue your testing on this story.
Yeah.
Do you get?
Agree.
But it's not critical to the point that it stops any other thing. Do you get it now? It cannot stop. It can move to other story. But on that note, I will still say, okay, it's a I. Do you get it now? Because we shouldn't release it like that. But is it critical? It's still debatable, but it's not stopping other tests. I can move into other tests. Do you get it now? So now let's move to medium. What story is medium? What bug is medium? What can we tag as medium? Okay, so for the sake of our time, okay, please go ahead.
Could not disturb our other things.
Okay, so when a part of a feature is broken, but that feature is also important, but not as important as being high. Do you get it now? It's not the whole feature that is broken. Some part of that is broken. And some of them, when it's broken, you have a workaround for them. When you have a workaround for them, you can say it's medium. We need to fix it. In fact, we might not even fix it within the sprint, but we will schedule a time to fix it. Do you get it now? So we can say, okay, we split the next sprint. It's not that, it's okay. And some bugs could be also be released. Some medium bugs can be released to say, oh, we know it's there, right? But we can still go ahead with it. Do we get it now?
Yes.
So now, when do we say a bug is low?
For example, when on the story it says when you click on this, it shouldn't be clickable, but you click on it and it's clickable. It's low because maybe in the next sprint, the developer might want it to be clickable or something like that.
Okay, that's a good example, right? You don't want to miss it. That's where you rest it. But to be honest, you might not even want to rest it, right? You just raise it and you put as low, right? And then later you can close it and do you get now? That is a good example. And also some bugs are just cosmetic, isn't it? So yeah. So okay, all right. Now we understand the severity. For this particular bug now, footer is not displayed. What do you think is the severity of this one? Can we put in the chat? Okay, if you think it's, put it on the chart. If you think it's critical,
that one is high.
yeah, put it on the
Because-
chart. Put it on the chart. Let's put it on the chart. If you think it's critical, if you think it's high, if you think it's medium, I want everybody to put it on the chart. At least I will know if I got at least 10 people with me today. So okay, I can see high, I can see critical. Okay. All right, I'm still looking for more people. All right, I think I've got 7 people, we've got 14 people, 13. Yeah, okay. All right, so okay, Emmanuel and Ugochi, do you want to quickly let us know why it's critical?
I think it's critical because okay, in this case, it's meant to be displayed, but it's not displaying right. So, no, it shouldn't be critical. It's high. It's high because Adibin is displaying and something is wrong with it, then it should be critical. I'm sorry, it should be high.
Okay. All right. So what does it say about critical definition, guys? What is the key part of the critical definition? What did I say?
It has put stop to everything we're doing.
Yeah, it is stopping your work, or a key part of the system is broken that will make the system not usable, right? Okay, and I also say I is a story that, yeah, that particular feature is not working, but you can still continue. But in this instance, that story is not the full story that is working. It's just a part of that is working. The footer is not working. Okay, the footer is not displayed. So of course, we can tend towards high or medium anyway. That yeah, I'm okay with anyone, to be honest. Even if you put a medium, it's okay. If you put a, but the only thing is like, do we want to go live with this? The answer should be no. On that note, right, it will be high because it has to be fixed. Okay, so I will put it on I, if that's okay. Okay, now priority, all right? Hello? Priority now, okay. Abimola, can you change that severity to I? Okay. So now, as you understand the severity now, it will be easy for you to understand the priority. Priority is just related to that. It's like, when do you want it to be fixed? Do you get it now? If you click on that, I think P1 means, yeah, it has to be fixed like today. So technically, sometimes it's related to that severity. As you know that if he has to be fixed like today or like yesterday, it's critical, right? So if you say 2, Bank is basically I. To be honest, I really don't know why they actually have both of them, severity, and because they work hand in hand. But the only thing that I can say is like some bug can be low in terms of severity, right? But you can also make them 1 in terms of priority. Do you know why?
Why?
Okay, or do we have any example where a particular bug is very low in terms of severity? It didn't break anything, it is fine. It's really cosmetic, right? But you don't want to go live with it. You want to fix it like because it's not really portraying a good image. Yeah.
So,
The reason
supposing
what I
the
can say to that is you don't want to take it to the next springs.
Okay.
for example, supposing the menu on the header is the color is meant to be white and you put black there, I think it need higher priority since when a user enters the home page, the first thing they see is the header. So I think we would not want you to go to the development UAT.
Okay. All right. So maybe that also could be another one. So one thing could be your branding, right? So even though you say it is your brand is red and the developer has changed it to blue, right? It doesn't affect anything. It's low, right? That was severity. But your brand is your brand. You don't want to do you get it now? For you, it's a P1. Then 2, it could be a typo as well. Mentor skid is mentor skid. The developer remove R and now say, yeah, or you put mentor kid. Do you get it now? So, and it doesn't affect anything, right? It's just a name, but it's so important that it has to be fixed. Do you get it now? It has to be P1 because it's our name, right? do you understand that now?
100%.
When a severity 4 could be a P1, right? Is that okay? All right, cool. Moving on now. So we have the story created, right? And that story, so can you save this story? Okay. Don't save and close. You see that arrow? See that arrow? Yeah, click on that and click on save, right? So now this story is in new state. Can you click on that state for me on, new? So it's a new state now. So depending on the severity, right? If it's high and if it's critical, right? We have to commit it to the sprint because we know that we have to do it, right? Because you are making that commitment, you are making that call on behalf of your team that, yeah, guys, this has to be done. So, but if it's not, you put in the backlog. That means we can do it anytime. So in this one, you don't need evidence. Of course, you can put an evidence as well, but yeah, I think it's okay if we put evidence, that's fine. Just to see to help developer to say, yeah, this is what I see, and I think it also makes sense as well. Anyway, you can put screenshot, and you can put screenshot at the bottom after you have the number 4. Just put a screenshot. Yeah, I'm not like you're right. Yeah, okay. So yeah, now we can put in committed. Okay. Click on committed, and then you can save and close. But before you do that, now 2 things is going to happen now. There's a bug, there's a story. Okay, this is where I'm going to stop because of my time. There's a bug, there's a story. So the bug will have its own life, the story will have its own life, right? But at the point they will converge together, right? Because now that story will stay in what state is that story in? That story that we're working on.
QA done.
Sorry?
It is in QA done.
No, it shouldn't be in QA done, right? Because we said if there's a bug, right? If there's a bug, it should be in QA, right?
This is about to speak.
Yeah. But of course, we did one instance when there's no bug. Do you get
that
it?
is why it was in QA done.
Yeah. So, but now, and we now do another one. So at this time now, it will be in QA. Can you move it to in QA? Okay. Because at this time, we are testing and we find a bug. So what you need to do now is you will leave it there, right? The bug will be in committed, right? So because the bug is in committed, right, we would wait for the bug to be done. When the bug is done, the developer said it is done, right? Sometimes I think your Scrum Masters also need to update the state for bugs as well. So the bugs will have its own life cycle as well. It should have dev done in the state. It should also have in dev done. Do you get it now? And after that, you would put it in QA, right? And you would do a QA done. If that bug is finished and is completely done, and you think, oh yeah, now I can actually confirm that you put it in done. Then you go back to the story, right? And you will do a regression on the story. You know, this bug is a subset of the story because it's not the only part of the story. There's a part of the header, there's a part of the content, there's a part for the footer. Do you get it now? You will retest them. That is called retesting, right? And also, you will also do regression. We know the footer works, right? Before, you want to test that footer again. What if developers mess up with that when it's fixing the footer, right? Now, because you know what happened. I remember there's a man in my house when it was Nigeria. They said if you go there to barb your hair, no, it was a photographer actually. If you go there to do photography, you find that your left eye is missing. And even to the extent that some people will make you fun that you can see your left eye in other people's picture and you will see other people's left eye. So that's purpose of regression. So you want to confirm that there's no regression issue within your test, okay? You want to ensure that what was working before is still working. That's regression, right? It has not regress. Do you get it now? That is where the regression comes from. So then once you've done that and you are fine, then that's when you now move the story to keyword done. Okay? All right. On this note, this is where I will say I love you and I will leave you. Okay? All right. Any question before we leave? That is the journey.
Yeah. Yes, please. I have a question, Mr. Deji. My question is this: on this board, when you go to sprint, just the steps we've been following now, where we wrote creation of test and test execution before we saved. Is it going to appear that way in the QA done? Or are we still going to have the story title on the QA done?
What do you mean?
Let's take for instance, we worked on contact us. And the box that looked at the portfolio before we just started on the green, when we click on the green icon, okay, the attack, and we wrote
on this one. Can you close this one? Right. Let's assume now. Okay, go back to the bug again. Okay, go back. We'll go through the process again quickly.
Okay.
Go back to the bug.
Okay. Yeah.
The bug, not the bug. The bug.
Okay. Okay, that's where it will appear. Okay.
All right. So now let's assume the bug is now fixed by developer. Okay. So we'll put this bug. Okay. The state now will be fixed, will be closed. Okay, or done. Okay. Can you go in there? Right. I think there should be done. Okay. You put it in done. Right. That means this one is now done. Okay.
Okay.
So you close that. Okay.
Yeah.
So now what we have left, right, is now our story and our task. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So now the story will move to what state?
It moves to done, QA done.
Keyword done. Okay. And what about the task? Because the task that we created is what?
Is it the test case?
Task. Yeah.
The test case.
No.
The task will be closed.
So what is the name of the task? No. Okay. Are you putting it to?
Yeah, he needs to put it back to committee so that we don't save it and think.
You can do your stuff anyway. This is just an exercise. You can create a new one for your stuff. Okay. This is me going through this, and you can. But you can still see it anyway within the story. You can change it. Close. Yeah. You can come back to it. You will still see it anyway, as you can see there. So now close this one. So go back to the sprint, right? So I think what it's talking about now is this particular, where's that? Okay, thank you.
Okay, yes, on this done, after in progress, done. That's what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
The title after the code.
So you need to move this one to done. So now you will change that story to keyword done.
Okay, not creation of text or text execution, right?
What do you mean?
Deji, what I mean is this: under done, you're seeing done there, right? Under
Yes.
it, where we have this code, this 7946. On it, we have developer's task. I'm
Okay.
asking, are we supposed to change it from developer's tasks now to the main storyline it is? For example, is about us. Are we supposed to change the name from developer's task to about us?
No. The story, the task is different. The task is your activity, right? That you are
Okay.
doing to be able
Okay.
to do the story. The story is
Okay.
about us on the left. Can you put your mouse on it, Abimbola, please? On the left, the story. That is the story
Yeah.
about us.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
For you to completely do the story, you need to
Mhm.
perform these 3 tasks.
Okay.
Developers need to develop it, and when they develop it, you put it in done. You need to create your test cases, and once you've done that, you put it in done. And you also need
Yes.
to execute your test cases, and you've done that, you
Okay.
put that in done. Everything is
Okay.
done here, right?
Okay.
Once they are done, you put them in keyword done.
Okay, yes, I've done that already on my own, because what I'm saying is there now, where this person wrote on 8014, where I'm seeing a creation of test and test cases. What I wrote there for myself is creation of test and test cases. Then I wrote / test execution.
Yeah, that's fine. But what you are
Okay.
doing, you are combining 2 tasks into one. And I said
Yes.
this before in the beginning, right? When I said
Yes.
that some people will just create one task and just call it manual testing.
Okay.
And so other people can even create 5 tasks, right?
Yeah.
Some people that pretend to be doing work, they will create 10 tasks. Creation of test cases, designing what is a test plan for the test cases, drinking coffee on the test cases, performing on the test cases. No, I'm just on a lighter mode, right? You can split this one into lot of tasks, so that it
Yes.
will look as if you are busy. Do you get it now?
Okay.
So, and
Okay.
it's also okay, right? If I want to split it out, I'll split it out. So even I can say creation of bugs. Do you get it now? But of course, you don't want, some people will say, oh, it's like a ministry officer. If you are working in a ministry in public sector, they are expecting you to carry a file. You will raise a task, okay, for carrying the file. Before you carry the file, right? You will also raise tasks for movement from one position to the other. Do you get it now? Yeah. Before you know, even the task that you are raising is even more than the job that you are about to do. Do you get it now?
Yes, sir.
So even the testing might take maybe 5 minutes, but you've used 10 minutes to create different tasks. But you just need to know when you need those tasks created and what level do you need to create. Do you get it now? Those are important. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Deji. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Cool. Okay. All right. I think that is okay. The tax is different. Okay. Thank you, Jeremiah. Okay. All right. Okay. I think that's it then. Thank you so much. And thanks, Abimola, for joining us. And guys, please, this needs to be interactive. Okay. You need to be on top of this. This program is hands-on program. Okay. It's a hands-on program. And to be honest, what I've done today, you need to be tomorrow, watch this video and start doing it. Do you get that? It would be frustrating if I have to repeat this one again, and I don't think it's nice. Do you get it now? Please ensure that you go through it, and also, put your hands on it and do it. Okay. Even if there's no bug, try to create bug for yourself. Do you get it now? So that you can close it, you can remove it. It's so important. Yeah. But ensure that you walk through this journey. It's very, very important. Okay. Damilola, you have your answer.
Yeah, just the last question. When we did the bug on my team, we maybe because I don't have the understanding, That's the reason why I asked you, what's the difference between committed and active? Because we put our own to be active. I
Okay.
really don't know why.
So yeah, it's also okay if you guys agree, okay? Because one thing, active means that bug is still active, but active also could mean that it's still in dev, right? Developers are working on it, right? Active also means that you are retesting it. Do you get it now? So, and to differentiate those steps, that's why I will recommend your Scrum Master to also create a replicate state that we have for the stories as well, so that you can be able to know what state that particular bug is in. Do you get it now? You can say, oh, that bug is committed. We are not working on it. It's on committed state. Or that bug is in developers, in dev. So which means that developers are working on it. Or that bug is keyway done, which means that it's already been tested and it's okay. Do you get it now? Being active has got a lot of definitions, and you don't want to be in that situation. You want to be explicit as much as possible. Does that answer your question?
100%. Thank you very
Okay,
much.
all right. Abimbola, you had the answer before.
Yeah, we're in the same group, and I wanted to ask the same question.
Okay, all right, cool. No problem. Okay, all right. Thank you, everyone. So we will see you tomorrow, hopefully, God's willing.